I just wanted to show you guys how to get this thing down. This is a first generation quad. I don't know that the quad part matters, but I do think the first generation part matters. The big thing you're looking for is these are your 4 that you got to release. So to get started, you've got this channel right here. So as it's up, you can see my mirror tap's kind of in the way, but I'm just showing you, kind of demonstrate. It's up in there, so you can kind of get your hands behind back here to get started. Honestly, these two come pretty easy because you can really kind of get 2 hands. These upper ones are a little bit harder, and they're just like everybody says, they're just really, really tough. But more than anything, I just wanted to show you kind of what you're looking at. Those are your 4 points in a first generation. Second generation may be different. And it's not uncommon for the silver part, the metallic part, to actually stay embedded in these rectangular holes. So what I did is I just took a very fine flathead screwdriver and kind of popped them out of there, because I actually like for them to be on the plastic better. When you go to put it up in there, you'll get a nice solid pop up in there as long as they're here. If you were to leave the metal clips in here, now what you're doing is you're feeding, let's see if I can get one off real quick. All right, so in the event that this metal were still up in the plastic, what you're doing is you're pushing this blade of plastic into these metal teeth. And so it's just not quite as confident feeling as a good pop into place. So anyhow, I did have to take a pair of needle nose pliers, see if you can see this, and I had to open up these little jaws a little bit because they were so tweaked out from me removing it. So anyhow, I did have to kind of tweak those. This one here is a little bit loose, so I might go back, but honestly, I'm not super worried about it, because when it's in place and it goes up in there, now that rectangular hole will be smashing this in, and then we'll have a good solid bite. But that's just my take on it. I do like for these to be on this piece. Actually, I'll just kind of cheat the system like that, smash it together. Yes, there we go. So now we get a good solid bite on our plastic ear, and it'll just pop back in there. Now this is a first generation that we are getting rid of, so I'm actually harvesting my mirror tap out of it. So this is the 15-inch mirror tap, and it's just plugged in up here. The sun is like directly overhead, so I can't quite see, but you can at least see where the plug is. It's the one on the driver's side, so you got to go all the way over to the passenger. That's how I had my radar detector, was all the way on the passenger side. So you do need the full 15-inch. That they have a 10-inch kit and a 15-inch kit, and I think you're going to need the full 15 to reach all the way over. Anyway, that was it. I just really wanted to show you how these clips work and let you know kind of what you're doing. Basically, just get after it. That's what it's going to take. You're going to have to get after it. It'll pop off. You'll be good to go. We're going to take a quick look at the first generation and second generation Rivian rear view mirror covers. So this is first generation. They do work very much the same. They both have 4 clips, but as you can tell, the first generation is substantially smaller than the second generation. And I guess the reason is the second generation has more cameras or advanced cameras, something along those lines. But it's still going to work the exact same way. You're still going to kind of get your fingertips in there at the get-go. These two come off pretty easy. And then from the side now, it's going to be kind of opened up like this, so you'll be able to get your fingertips in there. I know some folks are using tools and stuff. I was able to do it just by hand. I will say it is pretty aggressive, but it is also quite possible. Anyway, that's a look at how the second generation is and how they are not the exact same part. I guess if you were to break it, you might need a part number off of it, but it just says sensor cover windshield, left-hand drive, R1. I don't actually see a number. Made in Canada. Anyway, hopefully that helps you guys get your mirror tap and your radar detector mounted up. We're installing the Valentine 1 Gen 2 and our Rivian R1T Gen 2. Whew. Okay, the way I did it is I used some 67 design parts. This is the amps plate. These are some M5 stainless steel. I drilled and tapped this, what do they call it, sensor cover. And that's kind of what we're looking like. So it's rock solid. The downside is I did drill and tap that. The upside is there's no suction cup or no VHB or nothing really to fail, since it's all mechanical. It shouldn't go anywhere. I don't think it'll stress these too much because, as we all know, those push pins are really, really tough. So I don't think that this magnesium case Valentine 1 is going to be too much on it. I've already got the mirror tap in. I plugged in where most everybody else does. There's a white plug here you could probably see. It's pretty straightforward. You're going to plug the red where the red is and the black where the black is. There's a purple wire that you just ignore. And then, so this is the 15-inch mirror tap. I don't have a length on these M5s, but I guess if you need me to research that, if you want to kind of follow suit, I could get that for you. I like this 67 design stuff. It's all made in US, made in Texas, and they are proud US manufacturers. That they take pride in the fact that they do not import their stuff, and I like that as well. I did have one of their suction cups in our Gen 1 Rivian, and not that there's anything wrong with that, but the suction cups just over time, I mean, it's, you know, you go from 50 degrees to 100 degrees and it just takes its toll. So sometimes you'd come out and the radar detector would have fallen down or whatever. I touched that up by using a big VHB disc, which it never did fall like that, but it still was kind of a pile of stuff over here I didn't really care for. So this cleans this up, makes it real tidy. And I'm about to put this thing in, and I've already, oh yeah, by the way, this little bit that's hanging out there, I don't know if I had to put a number on that. What is that? 5 millimeter, maybe a little bit more. It's no problem. There's enough clearance over here. I already did test fit that, so not an issue. And then as far as the 15-inch mirror tap, we got plenty of space there. So that's the sound of it being done. And we all know that's the sound of the V1 booting up. So everything looks good to me. Thanks for watching.